Visit the National Museum of Fine Arts without leaving the comforts and safety of your own home. Explore the galleries that showcase Filipino artists at their best. Mark your calendar. It's on April 29 at 2 p.m. The Women in Finance and Social Involvement Committees, in partnership with Women's Business Council of the Philippines, will conduct the Profitable Finance Management webinar on May 5 and May 6. The Social Involvement Committee of Phoenix Foundation is pleased to announce that copies of Handbook of Personal Finance, authored by Ms. Ellen Cabrera, are now available at the Phoenix office. Please contact the Secretariat for interested parties. The Media Affairs Committee invites everyone to be part of the 2022 Phoenix Directory. Advertise now and reach the wide, diverse market of Phoenix. Message the Secretariat to request for the rates. We would now like to thank our year-round sponsors. To our Platinum sponsor, KPMG RG Manabat and Company. To our Gold sponsors, Ayala Land Inc., Philippine Shell Petroleum Corporation, and SGV and Company. And to our patron sponsors, BDO Unibank Inc., P&A Grant Thornton, and San Miguel Corporation. Let us now call on our MC for today. He is the 2008 Phoenix President and the President of BDO Capital and Investment Corporation, Mr. Eduardo V. Francisco.
Walang sound.
Heavenly Father, you are our Creator, our light, our wisdom and strength. May we ask for your guiding hand to lead us through this forum today and every day as we accomplish our work and various tasks. We pray for joy, enthusiasm, and fulfillment in our work. May we conduct ourselves and our business dealings in an environment of fairness, respect, and compassion. May we ask you to enter the hearts and minds of our leaders and countrymen. Give them strength, wisdom, so that they may lead us through these difficult times with honesty, integrity, humility, and selflessness. Finally, we pray that you extend your healing hand over us, our families, and our nation, and help us overcome this health crisis that has claimed so many lives, including the lives of many of our friends, family members, and colleagues. Please heal those who are sick and guide the hands and minds of our doctors and nurses as they care for them. All these we humbly pray. Amen.
Speaking ahead of the voiceover,
Hindi nga, pag nag-mute siya, ano, kailangan mo magsalita pa.
so good afternoon, President, to all the personnel.
Nag-mute ka talaga. Ginawa kaya?
Good afternoon. So all of you that are here and you will right now, it's great to see your faces in person. It's a long time. Well, technically, the last time that we saw face to face would be those who attended the CFO of the Year last November 2021. But before that was during the second GM of President Jenny Pascual, Feb 2020. And it is definitely a momentous event for us. So thank you for spending the time today. And also, I would also like to welcome our guest speakers, Mr. Guido Delgado. Thank you very much. And Gina, thank you very much. And participating virtually because he is the married to Mr. William. So before setting our invitation, we look forward to hearing from you and learning this afternoon. So recall that our last GML was March 16,
Ito po sila
2020.
mukhang ginamit ni
So then we continue our efforts to support this year's national and local elections. Last March 21, for example, Phoenix initiated a dialogue with the BSP involving Deputy Director of the BSP's Financial System, Attorney Roland Pumatay, and Mr. Melchor Malabasan, Director of the BSP's Technology, Risk and Innovation Supervision Department. It was an engaging session which we hope paved the way for as you know, they now have a lot of new commissioners. So we wanted to inform them that the private sector is serving them what they're doing, and that we likewise volunteer to help disseminate election-related education materials. So right now we are that support is in full swing. And then number three, in addition to this, I hope you all had a chance to read my personal request that PPRB, they're still in need of more volunteers. These volunteers will help man the command center at the UST, what recently will. It will be starting on May 9 until probably 2 weeks after May 9. You don't need to be there every day. You can volunteer 1 or 2 days. And if not you personally, maybe your employees or family members, you can invite to volunteer. But aside from election-related activities, your Phoenix committees have likewise been very busy. Last March 18, the PDC Committee, Professional Development Committee, rolled out its first economic briefing for the year. The main speaker was BPI AMDC's Chief Investment Officer, Mr. Smith Chua. It was then followed by a panel discussion involving SG partner in the and President and CEO of Philippine Asset Management, Angie Basis. So I would like to thank PDC Chair, Edith Vilay Estacio, and Co-Chair, Paul Sanberto. On March 24, we rolled out a joint tax webinar between TMAC and Phoenix. Obviously, the Tax and Legal Committee of Phoenix. We named it Basics for Tax and SEC Online Filing Tools. I believe this was the first joint endeavor between TMAC and Phoenix. So now we're evaluating and looking forward to other avenues where we can potentially work together. So I would like to thank the liaison director of Tax and Legal Committee, our very own EVP, Attorney Judy Mata Perez, and as well as its committee chair, Attorney Lea Roque. Thank you very much for your hard work. And then, also the same day, March 24, the Life Subcommittee, chaired by past President Bobby Borromeo, they held their first webinar for the year, I believe, involving Dr. who discussed the important information regarding stroke, discussing how to prevent it, recognizing the signs, and once we have it, what are the rehabilitation protocol needed. So thank you for that out. And then last but not the least was one of our webinars last March 25. We had probably one of the more interesting sessions involving well-renowned professors who discussed the details of the Ferdinand Marcos Diaries. Thank you to the Arts and Culture Committee, chaired by Attorney Leah San Juan and Liaison Director Domingo. We still have plenty of time, around 7 to 8 months, to still organize and roll out worthwhile and relevant webinars for our own members and for outside parties. I would like to call on Phoenix members who are not yet active in any of the committees. There's still time to join the respective committees. Feel free to suggest more events, or if you're willing to help out on any ongoing planned webinars, feel free to help. You're definitely welcome. And I'd like to observe that we have been holding more joint GMMs. Just last March 17, we held our second joint GMM with MEP and MDC, where we ensured that Commissioner Guerrero is doing at the PhD Bureau of Customs. I know that there are still a lot of challenges left and issues at the BOC, but we felt it was worth sharing the positive transformation that was started at that department review. Now that we are a few weeks away from the national and local elections and 2 to 3 months away from the new administration, it is now the period for reflection and taking stock of what's happened and thinking ahead. What future do we want to happen? What do we want to realize for our country, our companies, and for ourselves and families? So some of the activities that Phoenix has been participating in preparation for this look ahead would be first the roundtable discussions with the Arrancada and AmCham group. We participated in 2 of the roundtable discussions last month. March 16 was the first one. Then the second session was yesterday. So the result of these roundtable discussions involving over 45 business organizations will be shared with the next administration, with the relevant departments. For example, yesterday we had the PLLO, or the Presidential Legislative Liaison Office, sharing with us the status of bills that are pending either at the House or at the Senate, and which ones the private sector is moving forward. So that's one. And then number 2, we likewise participated in another roundtable discussion involving MBC, Business Club. It's called Economic Blueprint for Recovery, the output of which will likewise be made public and then shared with the relevant government agencies and groups. And then even at during the last Phoenix Institute board meeting, organization will likewise be preparing a similar document, something that's closer to the hearts of us Phoenix members and executives. And then next week, maybe you've seen the announcements. The Manila Times will be live streaming the roundtable discussions. We participated in other chamber and business organization heads. So it was definitely a very lively discussion chaired by CleanPact, and I hope that you'll be able to see it on Monday. It will be live streamed. And then lastly, in the arts world, Phoenix members are given the opportunity to buy the Brave New World book at a promo price, 4,000 pesos. This coffee table book features artworks from Philippine artists inspired by the pandemic. I have a copy with me, and it is indeed a book worth having. And I would encourage all of you to try to buy and support. The funds will be given to artists and other Filipinos that were directly affected by the pandemic. And then lastly, regarding a topic that is more consistent with our session this afternoon, I would like to share some insights taken from February 2021 publication by named Replay for a Better Environment and Equality. So it's a combination of trying to innovate within the green economy. So the conclusion is that micro data of BRICS and OECD countries like Brazil and Russia over the past 3 decades, the report provides a brief exposition of the long-run effects of green and non-green economic growth. Concluded is that the more green-related patterns a country files, the higher the growth rate of the economy. So it was an interesting read, and I found it to be one of the with more recent publications involving the direct connection between the green economy and growth in specific GDP or economy for a country. So we will make sure to share the publication to the Phoenix members. And then lastly, again, I would like to acknowledge the officers of the affiliated partnership who is sponsoring our general membership meeting this afternoon. That is and then joining us virtually would be its liaison director, Domingo. So thank you for again for the hard work. We look forward to a very interesting session when you take the next that has to serve with us. And also to our programs and meetings committee officers chaired by Nene Jesus. So thank you, Nene. And ever the venerable the so we'll keep us from our speakers. Thank you very much. Again, nice to see all of you and mabuhay ang Pilipinas.
Sir Ed?
President Mike. At this point, may I call on the Affiliates and Partnerships Committee Chairperson, Mr. Aloy Cervantes, for the ceremonial signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between Pro and the BCN. Phoenix shall now undertake the virtual signing of the Memorandum of Understanding. Separately with two non-profit organizations, the Guild of Real Entrepreneurs and Professionals, READPRO, and the Brotherhood of Christian Businessmen and Professionals, BCPE. The Memorandum of Understanding indicates that parties agree to formalize a cooperative relationship that is consistent and aligned with their respective corporate purposes and powers for the purpose of coordination, exchange of ideas, and relevant information, expansion of network for both parties' members, wider participation in relevant business and economic issues, and partnerships in special projects and activities of the parties. Shall now introduce the representatives from each organization. So start with, as your name is called, kindly open your cameras. And for those in this venue, kindly approach the stage and take your place at the table provided. Representing the Financial Executives Institute of the Philippines, Phoenix, we have our President, Michael Attorney H. Wali. The signing shall be by Phoenix Partnerships Committee Liaison Director, Domingo Domin, and yours truly as Chairman of the committee. Representing the Guild of Real Estate Entrepreneurs and Professionals, READPRO, is the President, Ms. Maria Katrina M. Yaco, and to serve as witnesses are Mr. Felix Francisco S. Adarayada, Dean Trustee and External Affairs Committee, Attorney Raul C. Friencha, Corporate Secretary. We shall sign the MOU together. Once you are done with the signing, you may please show the signed document to the camera and wait a moment for the photo documentation and opportunity. Thank you. Understanding. Only is one virtual. Let's now call on the brotherhood.
I donate that.
Good afternoon.
Now, representing the Brotherhood of Christian Businessmen and Professionals, BCBP, is their president, Brother Philip V. Belay, and to serve as witnesses are Mr. John Almoro, of BCBP, Mr. Tito Serrata, immediate past chairman of the Board of Trustees. We shall also sign the MOU together. Once you are done with the signing, you may please show the signed document to the current. Thank you. As well as with green card. Congratulations to the Blue Phoenix Partner. Now, fellow past president and CFO program member, Mr. Jerome Pascual, who is also an excellent singer, by the way. That's his last performance was in Pampanga, over 200,000 crowd. He has an announcement for all of us.
Thank you very much for that. I don't want to call that introduction. But good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And it's a pleasure once again to see you face here in the new world. Our sort of hope for the past few years before the pandemic. I'm here to make a very short announcement about one of the examples we would be launching in the Phoenix Academy. Well, as you know, in the Phoenix Academy, we believe that CFOs play a critical role in organizations, and you know the different phases of the CFO, as strategist, steward, operator, are the ways that CFOs create value and protect reputation for their respective organizations. Now, for the past 2 years, the CFO program program development committee, headed by Chairman Jimmy Ismael, a former past president as well, have dissected and studied these 4 areas, these 4 roles in the development program that is designed to reinforce the capabilities and competencies of CFOs and senior finance leaders. This is 2022. We are proud that we will be launching our premier offering of one of the Phoenix Academy Senior Leadership and Finance programs, specifically the P&A Grant Thornton Phoenix Academy CFO Development Program. What what is different about this program. First of all, we are partnering with a number of institutions, the LaSalle, Institute of Corporate Directors, Management Strategies, International, and Benchmark Consulting to deliver the different modules. But the differentiator that no other service provider or education institution can give is that we have also invited our past CFOs of the year, Phoenix presidents, and Phoenix members who are established practitioners in the field of finance to share their insights in the various modules of this program. We are launching the program this June, and enrollment and marketing will begin shortly. So please stay tuned for this program. Please encourage all of your friends and new CFOs, aspiring CFOs to join the program because they will be learning from. Thank you very much and warm good afternoon.
All on the special projects representative who is wearing new shoes to come to the stage. Is he did the job?
Everyone, as part of my duties as a special projects liaison officer, we will be holding an art sale. This will be in time for Mother's Day Art Day. It will be by artist Lydia Berto. The medium will be can you show my one page there. We have 8 designs to choose from, and the size is 10 by 8 and mounted. We plan to have this for every if you're planning to give your moms or your wives or even sisters a gift for Mother's Day. I think this is very timely. There are 8 designs which you can choose from. We will show it in our site or we will send it to Viber one. And it will be signed originally by the artist on the tile, and each order will be given a special note from the artist herself. And you know, if we sell this, we have a Phoenix as part of our fundraising project. And the price is very affordable to all of you since we have, I think, saved for 2 years. It's only 13,000 pesos. And I'd like also to acknowledge that one of our director, Attorney Yuli, is also donating one of our art pieces. If not this time, soon, so I hope you also patronize. She's very good. She's very good. I already have offers for this Angel Velasco Art on Tiles special sale. And another one, we're getting our culture side improved here. For all members of Phoenix in standing last 2021, we will be giving them each art plate by Fernando Amorsolo. You can see there in front. And we also asked the family to have 3 more pieces of Amorsolo art plate, so you can collect 4 of them. Each art plate will be priced at 3,500. If you get all 3 pieces of the art plate, you can buy them at 10,000. So I hope everybody can patronize this and help Phoenix raise its funds. You can also share this with all your friends. Thank you very much.
Apologize, I didn't realize that EB was the liaison. So pag-alam. Now, I want to call back Mr. Caloy Cervantes as the chairman of the membership committee to formally introduce him. We will now conduct the following new members. May we request the new members to please come forward together with their sponsor. I shall call on the name, start stating also the company, position, company, and sponsor. First would be Brian Chris L. Acosta, Global Process Manager, Credit Risk Management, Shell's Share Services Asia TV, sponsored by Pedro. Where is it? The second would be Sabrina Ann Acosta, Senior Manager, Assistant Treasurer of Prima Construction Materials Group, sponsored by Pythagoras Leon Jr. Number three would be Adelaida C. Gaborni, SVP Finance and Accounting of MAA General Assurance Philippines Inc., sponsored by Nenette De Jesus. Number four, Jelaine Marcel S. Manrique, partner, Manama Company, sponsored by Michael Arcatoni H. Guardi. Number five would be Catherine Arnie B. Malaylay, Senior Investor Relations Manager and Assistant Treasurer of Education Holdings Incorporated, sponsored by Pythagoras Leon Jr. Number six, Michael Angelo San Diego, Chief Financial Officer of EON, the Stakeholders Relations Group, sponsored by Teodoro Del Mundo Jr. To add solemnity to the occasion, I request all members to stand and may I call our President Michael Anthony H. Berlin for the oath of membership. Please raise your right hand for the oath of membership. I state your name. Having been accepted as a member of the Financial Executives Institute of the Philippines, do hereby solemnly swear that I will faithfully discharge, to the best of my ability, my duties and responsibilities. In pursuit of its goals and objectives. That I will protect and uphold its Constitution and bylaws, that I will abide by its code of ethics. That I will observe the highest professional, moral, and ethical standards, and that I will voluntarily impose this obligation upon myself. Without mental reservation or purpose of evasion, so help me God. Congratulations and welcome.
So congratulations to the new members. We encourage the existing members to congratulate the newly elected members in our network. The newly elected members, Isabella was very friendly. We're very glad team encouraged to speak from the previous to join also. Lloyd and President Mike. Congratulations to the new members. I hope that the new year will also sign up for the different committees because you can actually very involved. This is one of the best organizations where there's a lot of support from the committees themselves. Also members of other organizations, but generally the secretariat there does a lot more of the work. But here, this is one organization I'm proud to say where the members of the organization. So finally, for our main event, renewable energy is vital in addressing the challenges of climate change, energy security, and access. Today, our three guest speakers will shed light, literally and figuratively, as they bring solar rooftops to every home. I'm very honored also because two of the three gentlemen I actually work closely with. I have some of Jay and to because I work with them in the past, so I'm very glad that they accepted this invitation. Our third speaker will be joining us because he's working with something special project. Anyway, for the first intro, Attorney Jose Layo, or Jay, is currently a senior partner in law offices. He recently served as chairman of the National Renewable Energy or NREP from 2016 to 2018. I first met him when he was QSEC of the Department of Energy from 2010 to 2012, the Renewable Energy Management Bureau, Energy Resources Development Bureau, Energy Innovation Management Bureau, Oil Industry Management Bureau, and Legal Services. Jay knows everything about energy. He was also a senior counsel for negotiation of the Department of Chevron. He served as the Malampaya legal manager of Chevron. So, cheese na lang kayo about the state of Dennis Wigate. Off the record. As Chevron counsel, he received the first ever William Cole, the highest recognition by Chevron, to Chevron in-house counsel worldwide, besting all other Chevron lawyers worldwide. So Chevron's laws is the Philippines game. Jay currently serves the University of Miami School of Law and Professor of Law. He also teaches at the University of the Philippines Law. Wala nang ranking naman, Jay, but at least no, it's top 10 of some honors na high degree. Name grade. Because I thought so anyway, he obtained BS in Business Economics with cum laude in 1992 and Bachelor of Laws from the University of the Philippines, who is currently on a 6 or 7. As of yesterday, it was 7 games. So, medyo sideline lang yun, just to show you students who were well-rounded. Okay, finished his Master of Law degrees with honors in 2000 from the Law. He's a licensed to practice both in the Philippines and in Europe. So he passed both the Philippine and New York State bar examinations. Now, our second speaker also really needs no introduction because Mr. Delgado firm provides advisory services in power and energy sectors, develops renewable energy products. He was born and raised in Mindanao. He grew a small bank of the Philippines. He was the president of NAPCOR from 1994 to 1998, improving the power situation in the country by implementing various programs and projects. And then I was also working with him as he was doing some other projects, private projects that would help the country. He holds a BS in Administrative Business from the University of the Philippines. Again, also from the Diliman side. We graduated cum laude also. Parehong cum laude years namin. Ako, one of the minority. Pero hindi cum laude. Ngayon, majority ngayon yung mga graduates kasi hindi cum laude. So it's interesting. Anyway, he also has a master's degree in management science at the University of Manchester in the United Kingdom. So Ido will also talk in English twang if you like. And then our third speaker, we have no other than Iliac Angelo Diaz, who will speak first. Ilya is a social entrepreneur working with our communities, the Philippines around the world, with pioneering programs in bamboo, bamboo, and PET plastic bottle construction. He founded the My Shelter Foundation in 2006 to promote grassroots sustainable development through capacity building and employment generating projects. He realized that he could build innovative, sustainable structures, but he also wanted to give light and constructed far from the electrical grid. The solution to this challenge was led to the Litter of Light movement. Ilyak's latest venture, Litter of Light, Isang Litrong Liwanag, is the world's first grassroots green lighting program, bringing low-cost, zero-carbon solar bottle bulbs underprivileged communities. Since 2013, Litter of Light has empowered the lives of over 1 billion people across 32 countries. So it reduces carbon emissions by thousands of kilograms and allows each of us to have stable ratings in the future. Ilya holds a master's in social entrepreneurship from the AIM, a master's degree in urban studies and planning from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and a master's degree in public administration from the Harvard Techniques. So we have, I guess, a really distinguished panel with education from New York, from Boston, and Taiwan. Okay. So the Open Online Academy is the integration of post-disaster architectural designs. Ilya is the first Filipino who will design future energy prize, the Nobel Prize for clean energy. So we already have affected people the 2 Nobel Prize winners. May I now call on Mr. Diaz for his presentation, who will be joining us tonight. Thank you.
People talk about climate change, but in my country, we are being hit here and now. It's not like we have a lot of time.
We in the Philippines are in the front lines of a lot of climate change issues.
Hindi natin may tatanggi na nandun tayo sa Typhoon Pan. Pag dumating yung disaster, sinong tatamaan? Nakatira sa barong-barong.
Floating plastic block the drainage, raise the water. This is exactly what caused the floods. How do we take that something that is one of the largest problems, and how do you make it into something that solves things? And I told them, just wait for a while and we will come up with something that you've never seen before.
Noong Disyembre, sa tulong ng proyektong Litter of Light, ay nabigyan ng libreng solar light bulbs ang mga lugar na sinalanta ng Bagyong Yolanda.
These people, they do things with everyday items with this kind of simple idea.
It's a bottle full of water. The light would be able to enter through the bottle and lights up a 35 square meter house.
The user should be the front and center of the design process. Sila yung gagamit eh.
Dati kami nasa madilim dahil gasera nga lang ginagamit namin, bibili pa kami ng gas.
Everything is first world model, but what would a development world model look like?
We have the opportunity to test technologies, and we're doing that. Climate change cannot be small time. We have to think ambitious.
Let's think of it bigger. Can it be possible in every city in the Philippines? And can this be something that can be happening everywhere in the world?
Thank you, everyone. I hope you can see me. Hello.
Yes, we can see you and hear you.
Oh, yes. Sorry. As you know, I'm a millennium, not a millennial. So sometimes I forget. Well, thank you very much for allowing me to speak today. What you saw was actually the first global climate film by TBA Productions. One of the most important parts is really that less than 1% of any production budget in the whole 100 years of the Philippines. It's the 100th year of Philippine cinema, has been funded for climate and the environment. And so to make a statement, we wanted to show how Filipinos are not just the victims, not just the beneficiaries, but also can take that darkness and bring it all over the world, the innovation from the Philippines, even if it's simple, to countries around the world. I'll just take my PowerPoint. I don't know what's happened. Okay, my PowerPoint is not working for some reason. One second, okay? Share screen. Okay, I do not know why my PowerPoint, Ami, sorry. Okay, is there a way to get my screen? Sorry, I should have tested this. Ami, sorry guys. Is there a way to see why I can't open my screen? One second, guys. I was not kidding when I said that was a millennium. Okay, so it's not updated. Okay, so more than 13 million Filipinos do not have access to electricity. So what? Here, I'm sorry. One second. I don't know why it's not this one's not working. More than 13 million people do not have access to light, and so what Liter of Light basically did was try to look for a grassroots, simple technology that would bring green jobs to local communities. And the way that we did that, I have here actually a sample. This is just PVC pipes, and it's made out of simple circuitry, plastic bottle on top. And what we did was we used this as blinker systems that we use for seafarers, so that they would not be run over by large ships. But we also have a very simple technology whereby, sorry, I just don't know how to use this one. Okay, I mean, can you just maybe grant pass? So sorry, I don't know how to speak without my slides. It says open system security grant pass. So what happens basically is we started during Typhoon Haiyan. We were asked to be able to help out in this disaster situation. We realized that it would take 5 months for us to bring in imported, patented, and expensive solar lights. So what we did was we asked corporates, don't only donate food, water, but also, can you give me 30 minutes of your time? Because solar technologies are actually easy to be able to be built. So we went to Cebu to look for solar panels. It was a toy factory. We got 18650 that was used for vaping, and simple radio parts. And we're able to build these kind of solar lights. Now, what was interesting is instead of factories, so you'll see how we built it with very simple parts. And so what we did was we used this Gawad Kalinga or habitat model, where we got corporates to actually experience donating their time to build solar lights. So in 30 minutes, we got thousands of corporate partners. And one of them now is, of course, IKEA, where they will challenge their employees to build solar lights by hand. Now, our business model is we charge them for parts, and we add a 20% on top of it for operations and for training. And this would allow us to be able to have a social enterprise to maintain our offices and our global expansion. For the next 5 years, these lights will actually will work are repairable. So the LED is from motorcycle batteries, motorcycle lights. The other parts are radio parts, and of course PVC, but not necessarily. In Morocco, we use pottery. In the other areas of the world, we use bamboo. So all of these parts, instead of bringing them from one place in the world to another, we can actually use local parts already available. So we use partners like in Kenya. They already started their own solar. They already build their own solar panels in Colombia, and so we were able to hire more than 210 employees in these 32 countries around the world. And so we started using youth groups to be able to partner with us and use the same model of working with companies, making them build it, like Habitat for Humanity, and then donating it to women cooperatives. Why women cooperatives? Because we can actually work with them to be able to maintain the quality, the standards. At the same time, they're the ones that spend 4 hours every 2 weeks to go to the rural areas to be able to get the kerosene and then bring it back. So we're now shifting them into solar light. Wait, okay, thank you. Wait, sorry, we were able to figure it out. Guys, I'll just do this really quickly. Sorry, this lock. Okay, so 1.4 billion people without light, 13 million Filipinos. During Typhoon Haiyan, we were asked to figure out how to use local parts to be able to build solar lights by hand. This way, we wouldn't have to wait for 5 months to be able to make it possible. Anybody, anywhere can help us build solar lights that will be able to light up the tents and move away from kerosene. 75% less impact against women because there were robberies and there was of course crimes against women who had to bring food and water from the rural from the center of camp to their tents. When we engaged the corporates, we found out that many of them never touched and built a solar light. Although they were talking about sustainability, they never got their hands to be able to build this. Each light, as I said, 10 hours a day, 5 years, will be able to be used by the rural area. Each light reduces carbon emission by 1,000 kilos because you move away from kerosene, which emits 200 kilos every year when you burn the kerosene. So 1,000 kilos for every 30 minutes built. I'm just going to skip this. So we now do this all over the world, where we teach villages to be able to repeat what we did in the Philippines. So I'm just going to go forward because I'm running out of time. So today, a foundation, a social enterprise from the Philippines delivers helps 1,000 people, 1 million people a year, 32 chapters, 2,800 members, because the young people want to make a difference. And so what we do is we train them to work with corporates to get the lights, and then we give them for free to women cooperatives to shift away from carbon emissions. Now, what is the economic impact? 35% of community funds are used for this kind of dirty energy and expensive energy that they have to import. By shifting into community-based solar, they actually save that 35% and use it for medicine, for education. I wanted just to quickly talk about what we did, that was groundbreaking during COVID. We could not work with the corporates. We almost went bankrupt. We had to temporarily leave almost 2/3 of our staff. And we came upon this thing like the ice bucket challenge, which is of my generation, where once somebody challenges another person to make a difference. And so from our house, we started challenging our relatives started challenging their employers, our employers. So it started shifting where people started challenging each other from the safety of home. We did not know that it became viral. We started out with just 10 packs, and now we hit 4,000 likes, some of the 350 celebrities, 10 million views, and we started making some of the largest solar artworks in the world. So to show the power of people coming together, like people power, we started putting all the lights generated from that city. For example, from BGC, 1,800 lights. We made, sorry, I'll just skip it forward. So we make this huge scale artworks to show the power of people coming together. And what was nice is the United Nations started tweeting it all over the world. We called it the Human Powered Messages for the Planet. The first in the world to be able to, during a time of the pandemic, to actually organize thousands of people to make a difference. We needed it because tourism villages were going dark. Without tourism, there was no money for kerosene. And so we received thousands upon thousands of requests from the Department of Education to provide alternative lights. And so we started engaging people from inside their home with their children, with the partners, to be able to make some of the largest messages in the world. So this is from Pasig. They wanted to make a message for climate action. And so this is from UST, where I think 2,000 people from UST came together. But it started going around the world. This is from Italy, where 500 kids came together. And we received, now we're here because we're working with the Sheikh Maktoum and Sheikh Al Nahyan of the Emirates, and of course the President of Egypt. So starting from the Philippines, from a time of the darkest moment during Typhoon Haiyan, and of course the darkest moment of typhoon, COVID typhoon, the COVID-19, that Filipinos were able to come up with an innovative way to keep on lighting the world. Thank you very much, and sorry once again for the little bit of technical problem. Thank you everyone, and I hope you guys take the challenge. You just tell us if you want. We can send to any Phoenix a free packet for 30 minutes of your time. This Earth Day, it's Earth Day this April 22, to make sign up a sheet, and we will send you a packet. And of course, if you want your corporate to be able to keep on reducing carbon emissions, we can work it out. But we want every Phoenix member that we can send you a packet to make a difference this Earth Day. All of it, of course, will go to rural communities. Thank you.
Yes, we appreciated that, and we were very, I just really want to clean our solar panels connected to the litter or that produce the light. Anyway, we now call on our next speaker, Mr. Guido Delgado, for his presentation.
So the caveat is, and if I did something with the HDMI, will collapse. So we're going to try to do some PowerPoint. I'm going to use startup company. It's really run sun. It's called Sun here. Sharing sun forever. And we're partnered with an Australian company called Power Ledger. I'll explain to you what it is. I'll start with next slide. I'll start with showing you. I'll tell you where my house is. I'll show you my solar panel, my house. You go to the next slide. That's my house. So 7 years ago, since I've been advocating renewable, I said, well, why don't I just put up a solar panel? So at the time it was about 5 kilowatts, cost me about 500,000. And I said, but I got my money back in 4 years, 4.5 years, not bad, right? And we started saying, and my plant manager was the worker was in the wash area. She was the one who watched all over the light and the green, right? And she would just report to me. Thank God, over the last 7 years, nothing happened to the plants. Now, I did not do Meralco lending. Instead, I looked at the economics. I said, I'll just block all the Meralco energy, block it. I say 10 pesos, right? 10 to 12 pesos. And if I do net metering, Meralco buys it for basically 5 pesos. So it's never worth my while. And I'm forced to sell to Meralco. I'm like, this is all Meralco is good for. Yeah, let's see. So I never did the net metering. So and then recently, next, I have problems. I don't know about your bills today, but my wife started receiving bills that I would say notice of disconnection, and then they come back and so my wife threatened to leave me if I don't disconnect from the router. And she said, you know, I cannot budget kasi. Ewan ko kayo sa power sector, bakit wala kayong meron mga adjustments sa all the charges. Kaya, hindi ba kayo magpagawa ng fixed price nila? Sabi ko, hindi. So, iwanan na lang kita. Pag napupo-test ako, third, kung mag-brown out ang area, brown out, ang NTCP, sa typhoon, yung noong village namin, brown out din. So, gagamitin namin yung test. Dahil iinit ang rainbow, so hindi rin. And then recently, not recently, many years ago, I felt bad that I'm probably in the history of the Philippines, I built over 5 plants. So I went to confession, and we said, for your penance, put all your money in renewable energy. So in fact, all of my money is in renewable energy, and my wife is waiting for the returns, and that's not there yet. So sabi niya, by December, ayoko nang ma-connect sa Meralco. Gusto ko independent in power system. So I'm importing some lithium ion batteries that has some AI in that will allow me to be independent. So with the expansion of rooftop solar, located near the south, I can expand another, I don't know, 10 panels. And I can be independent of Meralco by the end of this year. Okay, and the resulting price is 9 to 10 pesos per kilowatt hour. So some people say, napakataas naman yan sa generation, but we're not greedy. So okay na sa akin yung 8 years payback, 9 years payback. Hindi naman ako naghahanap ng 5 years payback. Investments are really 5 payback. So, ito may nangyari. So, siyempre, alam naman Pilipino, di ba? Disposa, narinig ng neighbor namin. So ngayon, gusto nyo rooftop solar yung neighbor. They want to see the same benefits, no? Pero meron sa mga neighbors namin na ayaw mag-invest. So, sabi niya, option 1, sabi ko, sige. Option 1, I'll just sell to you. My power, my excess power, I'll sell it to you. Eh, paano naman magbenta yung power? maglagay lang tayo ng linya na isa sa kusina mo, papunta sa kusina mo, papunta sa kusina mo. So, ganun yung sistema namin. Ganito magiging sistema namin. Ito si Jay kailangan sagutin ko. So, yung linya namin, punta sa kusina, punta sa kusina, punta sa kusina, punta sa kusina, punta sa kusina. Ngayon, of course, I have an energy management system that has artificial intelligence that can balance the load between the houses, the solar panel, and the BSN. So, the legal opinion ko, I never put up law, I can't do it. So sabi ko, since my system is behind the meter, no one can see it except my neighbors, then I don't need any regulatory approvals. Kasi behind the meter, they're not allowed to get inside my house. I did yun. Of course, so my lawyer, sabi niya, Brad, kailangan mo ng distribution na yan. Sino mo malalaman kung distribution niya o hindi. In fact, sabi ko, what I can do is I can go to Congressman Roman, mag-apply na lang ako ng franchise. Diba? So, I will franchise for ano naman yun, local bill lang naman yun, nobody will check. Sino mang congressman mag-check ka? Di wala kasi local bill lang yun eh. So, apply for a franchise. In fact, I have a franchise bill pending in the Senate, the Vehicle Light and Power, where I applied for a franchise in exactly the same area where there is an existing franchise holder. And my argument is that there is no such thing as natural monopoly in power distribution. Why? Well, ICT costs have gone down. We have rooftop panels, very cheap. Now, that option works is I will sell to my neighbors, buy ng Naralco. Dadalhin mo sa Naralco, linya ng Naralco, sa kamayarap yung todo. Pero, it will not answer my resiliency objective and my volatility. So, pero, wala na kailangan sa Naralco. Happy kami, friends, but kami ni Betty. Ito sila ng reklamo. Pagkatapos ng ilan, si Mayor sila magawa. Otherwise, ang gagawin ko sa mga sila gagawin. Sayang ang Israel. So, yan, ma-justify natin yung usefulness ng energy regulatory commission. Kasi kaya sila magawa. So now, they will evaluate tama yung presyo mo. But there is still one more problem. How will you document yung transaction nyo? Na at the very millisecond, kinuha yung kilowatt hour galing sa rooftop, kinuha ngayon yung list. So may problema pa rin sa billing, sa recording, sa collection, something that you guys in Phoenix know how to do much more than I do. So, that's where we partnered with Power Legend. It's an Australian company out of Perth. And they already have 20 countries. And I will ask you indulgence. I'll show you when I have the presentation. How does it work? Very simple. May locator, may house ka isa, may solar, rooftop solar, may isang neighbor na walang rooftop solar. So gagawin niya, yung excess ng solar niya, nabenta lang niya. Pagkatapos, yung blockchain. So it's blockchain technology, it's instantaneous. Connect your account to the bank, auto debit, tapos na transaction. So kahit na bandera ko, kaya na gawin ito. Kasi nasa smart app naman niya. Kasi magkakawin. But, simple. So I will show you itong habit ko. Next slide. Itong habit ko na experiment nila. Hindi experiment. They went to Bangkok and implemented it. Next slide.
Next slide.
Next slide. It's now existing in Bangkok and in Chiang Mai and many other countries. The reason I chose Bangkok is sila nila malapit sa atin. You know, when I was president of National Power, the Philippines was way ahead of the ASEAN utilities. Okay? We they were so happy that the Philippines was way ahead. So next slide. So I will show you the 2.5 minute slide of how it actually works in Bangkok. Next slide.
P2P Energy Trading Trial Project at Sanseries T77, a joint initiative between BCPG and Power Ledger. The project comprises 4 participating entities with an energy storage system connected to the grid of the Metropolitan Electricity Authority, or MEA. All entities have different energy consumption patterns and solar power generation capacity. Electricity demand at Habito Mall peaks during the day every day. Bangkok Prep International School has a large area for solar panel installation with diverse electricity demand patterns. At Park Court Condominium, electricity demand varies throughout the day. For example, low demand during daytime. Dental Hospital has high demand in daytime but has some constraints in solar panels installation. Hence, they have joined the project as a buyer. The electricity produced from each entity will be initially used within the building so that residents can have lower energy costs. Trading occurs as a result of different load profiles of each entity. Excess energy is sold to other entities through P2P energy trading system. If there's an energy surplus from all 4 entities, it will be sold to Energy Storage System, or ESS. If the ESS is full, excess electricity can be sold to the grid through MEA network in the future. If all 4 buildings consume more than they can produce, trading is done from P2P, ESS and MEA respectively. Some entities have excess energy while others are short of electricity. Those with demand will buy from those with excess energy at the lowest price possible. Sellers will sell their electricity to buyers with the highest offer. All entities can act as buyers and sellers. This is impossible without the use of blockchain technology, which helps determine the transaction in a split second, using an application which is available both on computer and mobile phone. Transactions can be done in real time, making anyone a producer of electricity from clean energy and enable cost control at their fingertips. Democratization of power, giving power back to the people.
Lawyers will tell you na hindi pwede kasi minimum threshold is 500 kilowatts. But they're just na hindi mo pwede bigay benta sa 1 kilowatt. Ano lang, arbitrary lang yan. Truth to tell. Start with 1 megawatt, kilowatts. Depende na ng mga sino magawa ng mga gusto yan. Technically speaking, you will go down to 1 kilowatt. So next slide please. So this system is already here. Okay, so if you really want to see it, it's free of charge. You can join our platform and try to experiment. The problema lang is it's live. You need to wait for 1 day to see the transaction close. But current projects UBLB, siyempre, ang natin. Kasi iniisip ko, ang PESA, maraming mga locators, diba? So maraming rooftop. So pwede sila mag-trade doon. Ang Los Baños naman, ang gusto ni Chancellor Camacho, future-proofing ng Los Baños. Hindi, gusto niya na independent din na nilang power system. So, sa dami-dami nilang rooftops doon, pwede nila i-design, pwede namin i-design na independent. Sa kung may mapa kasi, pwede mo i-remote control using your iPhone. It's okay, like, no one's perfect. Okay. So ito mga problema, ang hurdles nila ganito, very simply. So sabi ng PESA, pwede na ito gawin sa Pilipinas. So, hindi-refer nila sa DOE. Siyempre si DOE, paano ito mangyayari? So ako naman, in-expression ko nila, very simple yan. May ADS. Yung ADS, sasabihin na, oy, sino gusto magbenta sa akin at rooftop solar? Ano sa akin? So, kasi, pero because peer-to-peer platform, ano ang unang DOE? Kasi hindi natin alam kung anong klaseng animal ito. Pero nung in-explain ko na pwede ko gawin mo, mag-bid ko sa'yo, sino gusto magbenta ng presyo? Sara, okay, benta. Ang pwede pala yan, pero hindi namin natawag yan P2P. Yung naman sa Los Baños, yung mga PhD, hindi nila naintindihan, paano na ito nangyayari? So, it's really a question of ignorance. This is really blunt. But really, it's not a difficult concept to think about. Now, next one. Sino magbe-benefit nito? My friend is selling $2,000. So, paano mo i-expand? So, I talked to some rooftop solar guys. Sabi ko, guys, let's get together. Ako lang yung catalyst. Pero kayo rin maglagay ng mga rooftop solar. Sino magbe-benefit? Ito muna, schools and churches. Nagkakanayo dyan, ang dami yung rooftop solar. Or, pwede nila sasabihin ni Father, uy, pwede na kayo magbayad ng tuition. Kung meron kayong excess solar sa inyong bahay, pwede nyo sa kayo, credit natin yung tuition fee ng anak mo, meron ka ng negosyo. Si Father, pwede rin sasabihin ni Father na instead na bibigay kayo ng sa benta lang kayo ng rooftop solar sa akin. Or, si simbahan, ang ginagamit naman niya during weekends, pwede na ibenta during weekdays. Sino ba? Divisions. So actually, you can actually design a set of rooftop solar because virtual power plant. You have the best part. Dahil mo lang yung battery energy storage part. Independent yung buong subdivision mo. Hindi mo na kailangan mag-connect sa grid. Another one is local government. Ito si Mayor Vico ng Pasig. Nakausap ko yung isang tao nila kasi meron silang excess 1 megawatt. Hindi ko mag-ulit. Sabi ko, ba't hindi ibebenta yung 1 megawatt mo doon sa mga poor communities? Kasi excess, agad nabibili nila. Benta lang nila sa spot market. Pero pwede naman nila i-direct sa mga bank. So, sino ba? Mga corporations, ba? I'm advising one company right now. Sabi ko, bakit sa Australia, yung Victoria Bay, ang negosyo nila, oy, bili ako ng mga kliyente ng Australia. Kada isang kilowatt-hour, meron kayong coupon. Pag meron na kayong so many coupons, may libre kang Victoria Bill every month. So, may nagpagandang promotion na i-address for both companies and the rooftop solar owner. And finally, sa mandarin mo, di ba? Mami, bigay ko sa'yo. So, transaction mo with your neighbors, your friends, diba? So, you can share that. Of course, ang sasabihin ng mga lawyers na si Jay sasabi ko ngayon, kailangan may distribution franchise ka. Hindi pwede kasi ang allowed lang is up to 500 kilowatts. Pero you guys, from a technical standpoint, believe me, I've been in this business for 10 years. There's no technical barrier. There's no technical barrier. Lahat ng mga rules na sinasabi nila, in-invento lang namin yan doon para protektahan yung mga or protektahan yung mga distribution utilities para hindi kayo masyadong democratic. Pero ngayon, bumaba na yung cost ng power, solar, bumaba na yung cost ng battery. I will be telling you a lie if I won't tell you na pwede lang gawin ito. So, kung sino yung maging presidente ninyo, mga presidensya po sa'yo, sabihan na ninyo yung mga presidensya po. They should now start looking at this perspective of democratizing power. Bringing electricity, bringing power to the power of the household. So ngayon, si Mrs. pwede na siya mag-budget, pwede na siya may... This is like a small sari-sari store, diba? Magkakabenta ka. All because you have a blockchain technology that will record your action and your money. And I think normally I don't accept itong speaking engagements kasi shy ako eh. So sabi ko, it's also been good looking. So, ayoko na mag-NATO tayo, mag-NATO. Hindi yung sa Ukraine. Kasi problema din is so, kayo, mga financial executives kayo, you should think, how can Philippines bring democracy of power to the household? You're a very strong organization. Siguro, ewan ko kayo, dapat meron kayong committee na nag-aaral ng legal, financial perspective of making sure. Kasi, you know, yung days of big power big those days are over. Tignan yung nangyari sa mga typhoons. Alam niyo, Bohol, Cebu, tinatawagan naman ng gobernador. Please, tulungan mo kami. Sabi ko, wala na ako sa Nabokon, 10-25 days ago. Okay, wala na ako ng tempo. Gobernador ka ng probinsya, wala ka nang magawa. Bakit? Kasi dependent pa rin tayo sa central power plants. Dependent pa rin tayo sa transmission line. It's about time you do distributed energy resources. Bring it down to the household, bring it down to the village. Yan ang dapat na strategy ng Pilipinas. Next slide, I will end here. So yun na ang challenge ko sa inyo. Namin mga next with the new president, whoever he or she is. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your thought-provoking presentation. So now the challenge is for the next speaker, the last speaker, to make it also as interesting, but we're sure he will rule as well. And I now call out Jay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Makikinig ako kay Guido eh. Baka sumunod tayo. But Guido, let me answer a few questions, but I need to declare first that I have a conflict of interest in advising you. Let me go back to your slides. Can we see Guido's slide? So that I can answer the question. We have that. When Guido was presenting this slide, somebody called me. Now I do like I'll tell you that is. I said, Guido mentioned to us a lot of the problems currently in the system and the existing law. But there was a new client who called me. Sabi niya, kasi nanonood sa Zoom. Okay, ang sa slide niya, problems. Number one, wife. No? So si Mrs. Guido, tumawag sa akin. Sabi mo kay Guido, umayos siya. Kasi number one problem wife. But anyway, yung proposals po ni Guido, wala pa sa batas.
plants. So that's the problem. And we have been pushing for distributed energy systems, the DER. It's been years. NERC issued the rules already, which will cover exactly what Guido has suggested. Now, itong problema ko nung DER, it happened in Germany a long time ago. So, the battle between power to the people versus the distribution utilities. And finally, sometime 5-6 years ago, the Supreme Court of Germany finally allowed DER systems. Wala pa ho tayo doon. That's why you see Mercado complaining, because they were given the franchise and they have a coverage. And because they have a mandate under ERA to serve you, the consumers, naturally they contracted a lot of power supply agreements. So, paano yan kung lahat tayo maggawin yung sinasabi ni Guido? So they will end up with stranded supply contracts. So, from a macroeconomic perspective, may problema tayo. But at the same time, obviously there is a balance that we can achieve. But it has to be discussed at the legislative level and also at the executive level. Now the good thing is it's election time. Election time. So now all candidates talk about sustainability, renewable energy. Whereas during the past 6 years, very low sila sa RD. In fact, it's only recently that now renewable energy has come to 4. And in fact, there will be a green energy auction program that will happen before this administration ends. Ang sa amin po, sana ginawa nyo yan 6 years ago. Because it's already the finish line. We're only doing it now. We've been telling you to do it, we took over, but nothing has been done. In fact, earlier, yes, Guido should be blamed for all the coal plants. He built them. But Guido, I have to tell you, in your lifetime, your plants is enough. It's just too many coal plants. And in fact, I've always said this, I'll show you why in some of my slides. Houston, we have a problem because we have not been able to install new capacities for renewables. And therefore, all those plants that Guido built in the 90s are now breaking down slowly. Now, every year we have a 2,000 megawatt power outage every summer. Kaya ang advice ko, this coming May, mag-beach na kayo. Anyway, mainit, doon tayo mag-isa sa beach because we will have brownouts. Definitely. And I've said that many times, even the DOE has predicted that. Because the coal plants have been breaking down and we don't have enough power during peak months, particularly May and June. So we have a problem. Anyway, let me go very quickly. I will discuss not just solar and rooftop. Kasi yung rooftop para sa ating lahat. But more importantly, we have seen a surge in interest in the Philippines for the elections. Otherwise, wala akong coal plants. Next slide. All right, let's go on. And that shows you the current situation. Next slide. So this is all the power plants in the Philippines. If you notice, in terms of installed capacity, 26,000. And dami ho. When our big demand in Luzon and Visayas is only about 40,000. But although I doubt also the DOE on the dependable capacity number, sabi na 23,000. Hindi po yan totoo na. Because when we talk about dependable capacity, sa engineers' positions, ito yung how many megawatts you can rely on when they run, right? But the coal plants have been breaking down, as I mentioned. So your dependable capacity is much lower than that. Next slide. This is your installed capacity. In terms of renewables, out of 26,000, we have about 7,600 megawatts coming from renewables. Napakaliit po. That's about less than 30%. And of course, because they are renewables, the capacity factor, depending on technology, is much smaller than that. Yung solar po, in the Philippines, the average capacity factor is about 16%. Meaning, during the entire year, 16% of that. All right, this is what I had mentioned to you earlier. If you look at the age of all our power plants, about 6,000 plants are already 20 years old and older. They have been in operations. Yan ho yung sinasabi ni Guido na kasalanan niya. Matagal na ho, yung coal plants. Tumatanda na ho. And because of this data, nasisira na ho siya. You cannot do anything about it. The only way to address the problem is to build more supply. Okay, but it takes how many years to build a whole plant? 4 years. Medyo matagal. But how many years do you need to build a solar plant? 6 months. Alam niyo, was critical in building the first Bulacan Power's solar power plant, no, of 50 megawatts. Next slide. All right. This is the DOE. Tignan niyo mo yung bar na may dilaw at pula. Next week na po yan. What does this mean? The DOE is telling us in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, wala supply. Because your coal plants will break down. In fact, they have broken down the last 2 weeks. No? Even during weekend, when all of you are in your house, nasira ho yung coal plants as expected. So you will now expect in the next 2 to 3 weeks, in fact, during election time, may brown out po tayo. So we have a problem there. Next slide. All right, we have a lot of renewable energy resources. We call it the big show. Let's do quicker transition. So we have biomass, geothermal, solar, hydro, ocean, and wind. Next slide. And with all these RE, now why do we need to go RE? Simple. They've become cheaper. Huwag na ho tayo makipagtalo sa coal plant. Dati ho nagagala coal plant sa RE. Hindi na ho yan tipid. Solar is now at 350 or 345, the power supply agreements. Magkano coal? They're even pricing. SFC bill, usually I pay 15,000 a month. Ngayon, 25,000. Why? Because your coal went up and your diesel power plants went up as well. This would have been different if we had more renewables, which are on prices. Hindi mo yung sinasabi ni Guido na bakit kasi pass on. Ang coal and oil pass through yung cost niyan. So pag tumaas sa international market, you have to pay for that difference. Hindi yung ganyan RE. It's a fixed price for 20 years. Next slide. Next slide, please. Okay. Some more. Transition. This is our target from the DOE. From original 5,000 tayo sa ngayon. 5,000 we only have, when I left in 2012, the target of the government was to have an additional 10,000 new capacity. Nakasampung taon na ho. Buti lang, wala pa akong apo. Pero after 10 years, ang nadagdag lang po natin, you will see here, is an additional 2,500 megawatts in a span of 10 years. Napakaliit. We should have built more. Pero tatanong na bakit ba ang hirap tayo? Subukan niyo ho, 200 marines. It's so hard to get them. It will take Meralco or whoever at least 2 months. Bakit po ganun? Hindi ko rin alam. Gobyerno ang dapat pupukin. And I've always said that the problem is the energy government. And you see from here, because we only put up so little megawatts in renewables, lumaki ho yung coal. Dumami na ho ang coal plants. Huwag na mo namin sisisigidon, hindi na kasalanan yun. Pero kami malalo na yung coal plants. And therefore, you see the slides, yung generation from renewables lumiit to about 20%. Go ahead with the next slide. And therefore, because we are importing more coal, importing more, in terms of self-sufficiency, bumaba na ho. That means we have become more vulnerable to price volatility. Kaya kapag sumipa presyo ng coal at oil, patay. Tumataas ang kuryente. This is the total index for renewables. And this is where you can come in. Your finance executives. Pwede ho, I know you have a lot of money. Si Ed ho, na pera. Ang dami yung pwede magpautang kahit zero interest, papayag si Ed for your projects. awash with cash ng bangko. Ang problema ng bangko, walang mahanap na projects. But if government will make it easier for the private sector to build more power plants, it will not be a problem. And by the way, they launched the largest ever IPO listing since 2007, the Citicorp Energy REIT, the first energy REIT in the Philippines. And we hope to have more. So contact it. I'm sure more energy companies will follow. Next slide. More. Let's have more slides. Sige, ituloy mo nyo lang, habol na ako sa slides. Alright, so okay. Our installations are way below target. We set additional 10,000, next slide. But we only built 2,500. And the energy self-sufficiency went down. That means we're importing more. Next slide. And how about the outlook? The Philippines continues to grow in terms of economic activities. You will see from here, go ahead, next slide, 4.4% average growth in demand for power. One more. Next slide yung tayo dito. Yung COVID, siyempre lahat ito naka-shutdown, di ba? In 2020, slide? Yeah. In 2020, bumaba ang demand for power because we're all shut down. But look at we still were under COVID. But look at the peak demand. Yung kulay blue ho in 2021. Mas mataas na peak demand in 2021 kahit COVID tayo. Dun sa peak demand before COVID. Kaya sabi ko sa gobyerno, malaki problema natin lalo na ngayon 2022. Because we're now down to alert level 1. Lahat po tayo pumapasok na eh. So we have a problem now. You can imagine the peak demand and then because of the whole plans that Tito built. Yun yung problema natin. Next slide. All right. Now we have all these laws, but I want to show you some of the rules. Next slide. Let's go ahead. A picture of the law that was signed. Next slide. Okay, way back in 2008, the RE law. Next slide. Now I want to show you some of the rules that we implemented. These are all in the RE law. You have the FIT system, the RPS, the net metering, and the green energy option. And added to that, the green energy option, which will happen next month. Next slide. So let's go very quickly to the FIT. FIT is a 20-year program. Tapos na nung nagsimula ko ng gobyerno, sabi ko, wala akong problema sa FIT, huwag kayong magalit. Galit na galit eh. Mahal daw. When in fact, when we do the second round of FIT, you can always adjust the price based on the cost of that project for that particular time. In fact, after 6 years, that is the Green Energy Option Program. Ngayon ho, gagawin na finally yung FIT ulit. Binigyan lang po natin ng ibang color. It's the same law. But the FIT are no longer 9.68 and 8.69. In fact, ERC posted or published the proposed FIT, which now they call the gear price. Mababa na ho. For solar, it's down to 3.50. For wind, it's down to 5.52. So, and yet, the target now is 2,000 megawatts. Ang dami mo pa-participate. Again, I've said this from day one. Dapat ito, ginawa natin ito 5 years ago. Or 2 years ago, and we should have done this annually. We did not do it. We have all these fiscal incentives. We implemented a FIT system. Next slide. We also have the net metering that we mentioned kanina dito. Now, of course, I have to warn you, huwag niyong gawin sinasabi dito, makulong kayo. We have to wait policies and the rules and regulations of the DRC. Si Tito ho matapang kasi sabi niya, penance naman niya, allow me. So, okay lang ho siguro for Tito. But for all of us, we need to restore the approval of the regulators. Next slide. So we have all these FIT rates. Next slide. Now, since we implemented the FIT rates, just to let you know, we were able to save yourselves as at least 9 centavos per kilowatt hour. We displaced the more expensive diesel power plants. So pumasok po yung feed rates ng solar, ng hydro, ng wind, bumaba po yung kuryente. More RE plants on feed. Baka po hindi tayo ganito na mas mahal. I was shocked yesterday when I saw my bill. Next slide. All right, this is just what I mentioned. More. Keep clicking so we can finish. The net metering, some more. Okay, more. The net metering program has a limitation. Sabi mo dyan, anything less than 100 kilowatt, you can ask Meralco or any solar supplier to install, and then what you can use for your homes. Any excess will just set off with Meralco. Now the question which Guido has asked, can you generate more than what you need and sell to your neighbors? Yun po yung make up sa regulations. Technically, because under the laws, yung franchise ng Meralco, siya yung exclusive right to distribute the power. Yun po yung kapitbahay ng kapit-kapit. It would have been different if the entire subdivision is owned by Guido. And there are houses inside. He can do whatever he wants to do there. Pero kung kasi iba-ibang may-ari ng bahay, pag tumawid na yung linya ni Guido dun sa bahay niya to the neighbor, yun ho, kapasyanin na tayo ng distribution utility. That's the gap that we're talking about. Because they will say Guido na that. Okay? Anyway, tayo naman nandito. No one knows that Guido is doing that currently. Alam mo tayo, sorry. Alam mo tayo, okay, that's the net metering program. Of course, legislature to increase or remove the cap so that we can have more on our homes. We have the RPS. All utilities now are mandated to cap power supply with renewables. Ito po, all you in the RE sector, build your power plants, negotiate PSAs with Meralco and other distribution utilities. Required po sila. And if they don't comply with this, they will jeopardize. Sabihin nyo doon, ayaw nyo akong magkapit titignan ko kung kayo na-comply sa RPS. Otherwise, kulong kayo distribution utilities. So that's already in our existing laws and rules and regulations. Next slide. The RPS is not only a mandate in the on-grid areas, but also in the provinces, by the way, the off-grid areas. Next slide. Kinalculate naman namin kung anong kailangan bawat utility. That's why the DOE launched the Green Energy Auction Program for 2,000 megawatts. Kasi kinalculate naman natin. Next slide. Right, that's RPS. Next slide. Some more, just keep clicking so it will run. Continuously. On the other hand, the green energy option. Ito po, for those of you with at least 100 kilowatt of demand in your buildings, hospitals, resorts, manufacturing plants, directly contract with an RE supplier. Ang dami yung ganito. Ang dami na ho, bibili directly with a supplier. Pwede na ho. Yung 500 kilowatt na sinasabi mo ni Guido kanina, that applies only to conventional fuel. If you want to contract with a whole plant or a diesel plant directly, you are a consumer, 500 kilowatt yung minimum threshold. Why would you do that? Coal yan. Now, if you want to contract directly with an RE supplier, kahit yung building mo 100 kilowatt lang, pwede. That's allowed. We've lowered the threshold at least for the RE suppliers. Next slide. So that's the Green Energy Option Program, the GEO. We also wrote that during the time that we were in NREP. You have the RE market that we'll discuss that. Every megawatt hour that you generate, you will come up with an RE certificate, which you can trade in the market. Next slide. And of course, finally, as I mentioned, the NREP, the National Renewable Program, they want to increase the target to 50%, but we are so delayed. Next slide. And finally, as I mentioned, the Green Energy Auction Program. There you go. And this will happen couple of weeks. Now, 2,000 additional capacities. You will bid into it and you will get a 20-year price. They call it gear price, but actually it's fit for 20 years. So this is the programs. These are the programs. Let me show you a list of those who are registered for solar rooftop systems. Tingnan nyo yung listahan. Next slide. Two more slides, please. Kung titignan nyo yung listahan ng DOE, pero ang dami na kung naitatayo ng solar systems sa mga bubong. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Doon tayo pumapasok sa sinasabi dito. Again, government is delayed. Nagtayo na ko kayo lahat ng solar systems sa mga bubong nyo, wala pong batas. Wala pong person. Look at those who registered. Napaka-counted, less than 9 megawatts. Eh, ang dami na kung natayo sa mga bubong. What does that mean? Lahat po yung illegal. Seriously. No? RC and DOE. No? Pero ikukulong po ba natin sila? Hindi. Kasi sisingin natin yung gobyerno. Because we've been trying to put up all these solar rooftop systems, ang hirap naman ng mag-apply ng permit sa inyo. In fact, na rules na issue ng DOE, sabi ko nila, kailangan kung kayo ay, let's say, a manufacturing plant, either you go fully 100% RE or you buy fully from your utility. Sabi ko, hindi ko pwede yun. Kung gusto kong magtayo ng rooftop sa bubong ko at ako ang demand ko 2 megawatts, gusto ko kalahati lang ko. Bakit? Eh sa gabi ko, kailangan ko ng kuryente ng meron ko. So hindi ko pwede 100% RE. I want my RE system during the day. No? Sige doon lang iba, gusto ko 100% RE. Bakit? Sa gabi walang ilaw. Hindi ko alam nangyayari sa gabi. No? Dahil sige doon walang ilaw sa gabi. Nobody has battery storage, as mentioned. But of the DOE say, you should go 100% either or. Yun. I flagged that already with the DOE. That's not even the draft rules of GEO that I had signed when I was the chairman. Sabi ko, hindi yan ang iniwan ko. Bakit hindi ganyan? No, so that DOE was scratching its head. No, sabi na, ay, of course, if you were Alaska has a 6 megawatt solar system dun sa may south, no, super high. 6 megawatts yun, nasa bubong niya. It's the largest solar system. Pero hindi lang 6 megawatts yung kailangan demand, mga 10 mo yata. So, hybrid. He buys from Meralco at night, but during the day, he uses his solar system. Sa batas, sa rules po ng DOE, bawal po yan. No? And I don't hear as a tulong. Yung tulong namin. Mas maliwis yung rules. Not only that, ERC, nag-issue pa po tayo dyan, dapat daw yung owner ng system, siya din mag-apply ng permit. Alam niyo ba, kung kayo ay manufacturing plant, hotel, beach resort, hospital, iko-contract natin si Jake sa system niya. Jake, bahala ka na sa lahat. Huwag mo na akong problemahin ang business ko, hospital eh. So lahat ng permit, ikaw na bahala. Ang ERC gusto na, ay, hindi, kailangan yung hospital mag-apply sa akin. Kailangan yung hospital ang owner ng solar system. Hindi nga ako pwede yan. And this is where your rules and regulations do not look at reality on the ground. No? And we told ERC, you have to change the rules. So ano nangyari ho ngayon? Ang dami ko sa kanila, walang permit. No? Yun ang problema. No? Now, if you ask me, because the topic is solar rooftop in your homes, go ahead. No? Kapag dinimanda ko kayo, ako nang bahala. Anyway, sasagutin kayo ni Guido for all his penance through the years. Siya na ako magbabayad ng legal fees. So with that, I hope you consider solar systems in your homes, lalo na kung summer. I don't know apply the home wall na. And now I'm paying 10,000 more just for this summer. I'm not a happy camper because of that. So I hope you consider that. I'm sure Guido is saving a lot now on electricity because he has almost 100%. So thank you very much for this time. And again, thank you to see old friends.
May I ask Guido to join and I will pass the floor to Jay for the Q&A. Jay is the president of Solar Renewable Solutions. never mind, I'll pass the floor to you. May I also ask the audience for online and physical to extend the topic, but Jay provides.
Hello? And how much time do we have? I don't think that's enough time to get through everything. Is it still not enough? All the RD projects are being built by City for, they're doing like anything, they're raising funds like it's not enough.
Not enough. We need to build more. Primarily 2,000 megawatts. And when you talk about rainfalls, iba kasi yung capacity factor. When you talk about coal of 2,000 megawatts, they can generate 2,000 megawatts. When we talk about solar of 2,000 megawatts times 0.16, kasi 16% lang na generate. So in fact, so that's why our target was originally additional 10,000 megawatts, and we've only installed 2,500. So we need to do more.
Ako naman kasi pag nag-build na lahat ng mga power plants na yun, maka-obsolete na yung mga rooftop circular.
Never be technologists get so you see what's the problem with the standard based ground based software? Land is getting more and more expensive. And I heard some people want to put some solar, floating solar, and put it high. Bad news is don't have enough capacity. Many reasons, and one of which is you have idle real estate state of it, and they're one of the best regulations in the world. It'll take 25 years, 30 years by the time my grandchildren are so I'm not worried about anything.
Actually, maganda nga ako yung net metering program. We're now from 4 or 5 years to about 8.5 years. I have a client. We started the net metering application in 2018. And PRC and Narada are working at each other. Is there somebody to break the deadlock?
Sabi ko sa kusina naman lang. Kung hintayin mo pa yung PRC, abutan na ng 20 years. So, because I remember many years ago, I was running a bank. Kaloy was the central bank had so many rules, and I was working in the mountains. And how can you follow the central bank when the technologies available in the world is non-existent? So the same thing here. Imagine if I put a wire to the kitchen. How will I ever know? You'll never know. In the meantime, I save money. Of course, but think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Think about this. What are the rules for? At the end of the day, laws should be for the public. Why should the law be existing to protect the monopoly franchise holder? But so the law should allow people to choose their so why not apply for a franchise in exactly the same area for the existing franchise holder? It is
Speaking for the good people, Attorney Tayo was talking about big projects, about home projects. I see Mr. Diaz is still with us online. What's the next step? You're doing the lights for small homes, you said the 35 square meter room. What's the next step, or how do you evolve this rooftop solar project of yours?
So, Liter of Light has been misunderstood in a way that we are just providing light. Actually, it is the basis of having a power system or a community-based power system that can be fixed with a screwdriver and simple parts and maintained by women cooperatives. So we're building that up. The next step, of course, we're working with Google to be able to put in what you would call mesh technologies in the street lights and the house lights, where we have technologies where the women can communicate with other women and download information from a central library. Now storage is very cheap. So they don't need the internet, but they can use mesh technologies to be able to transfer information. So before we could do that, we wanted a stable power system that can be maintained by women cooperatives. So we are now testing that out in refugee camps, and it's proving. So with secondhand phones, you don't need internet. They download it from the city and they share it. They share it among themselves. So it's parang a WhatsApp of a village, and you can download, send pictures. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Attorney Lai, in that example, do they also fly under legal report, like working in the gaps of regulatory
We were just talking about it. Under the EPR law, if you generate power, kailangan mo ng certificate of compliance with the COC required mo yun. Yung net metering nyo sa bubong, in-apply mo yan ng Meralco or your supplier. There's a special lane for net metering COC. But for the largest systems, sa Alaska, kailangan nyo, Alaska, all other hospitals, in SFO, may solar dyan. Tuloy na ako they were, not just SF, but all others. Hindi kumuha. And
Attorney, now that you mentioned Alaska, for all the bankers here interest, the system, the 6 megawatt system of Alaska is not paid for by Alaska. I know in solar, they got a Thai come in and collect payments from Alaska. So even that large solar project did not seem to merit local financing. I saw in a primer identification that like 20% of the credit evaluation of the local banks, there needs to be regulatory support. And that might be one of the gaps that exist. 6 megawatt Alaska, 200 kilowatt ice plant. I know people that have Singaporean financing. Very few are actually doing, very few local banks will do solar financing without a real estate mortgage. As far as I don't know if you've had that experience.
More importantly, many of them don't have service contracts with the DOE and no COCs. That's why they need to work it out and make sure that they meet all the regulatory requirements. Rules of the DOE. They border on because if you want to put up a waste to energy plant using rules that are questionable, waste ba ay foreigner or so that's been changed. The lines these no longer for but all others, for example, Coca-Cola, I think may solar system.
Yes.
Pero ito nga ho, yung regulations is a problem because kailangan 64 owner system. So may mga gaps po talaga. You know, I went around that law in 1995. See, ang law kasi dapat 64 feet, right? That's unbroken hydropower is owned and run by a foreign company. So the biggest question is there a Filipino company? It's the 1990s that can put up a multi-billion-dollar hydropower. Wala. Pwede sinala, wala pang mga alala doon. So, you know what we did? We said, okay, the water will be owned by Namport. Yung turbine will be owned by the foreigner. Magkikirak lang po ako sa turbine nyo. So, magkikirak lang po. Bayaran lang Yeah, I'm just very pag-ikot, that is energy conversion. And then I'm now questioning even solar. Who said that it's almost a solar sun? We don't have a license to the sun. Is there the sunlight owned by the Philippine government? Of course not. So you're just converting already a standing energy into electricity. So there should be no restriction there. You don't own the wind, you don't own the sun. So that should be open.
Although the counter argument there is we should try to only kapitbahay natin Asian neighbors. Thirdly, you also mentioned the Green Energy Option Program. That program, it begins cut off actually 100 kilowatts. Yes. So 100 kilowatts and up can begin to get from RV. Yes. Pero parang namimiss ako na less than small business owner. We don't reach 100 kilowatts in many of our facilities. Pero hindi kami makakuha supply from our suppliers. And because this is less than 100. You can
I cannot mention what we do. One of the problems with Geo is Geo dapat 100%. Sabi ko, anong renewable energy na base load? You ask the question, anong renewable energy na base load? Wala, except one. So I will never be able to get 100%. Why don't you just say you can, encourage that as much as possible, renewable as much as you can, then it's good for the environment. But what you require 100%, so you want to do that one. Build that one. So you know it's an impractical application. So I wanted to do it. It's too complicated.
From financial executives, people who have the money for these projects, how much capacity really needs to be built for power generation for the Philippines? But to address the supply shortage, 2,000 megawatts.
I'll tell you, Jay, when we had a shortage, when I came as president, ang shortage natin is about 4,000 to 5,000 megawatts. We had no money. So, tinanong kayo na ako, wala kaming new plans, so na-random. So how do we project the future? After economics, wala namin electricity, 1.8, 1.5, and so at the end of the day, I found out it was my fault. It was just my fault to say, I need to put in 4,000 megawatts, I need to put in 5,000 megawatts. Because at the end of the day, you're all executives. At the end of the day, you guys decide. If you're your economists, your economists should be the owners of the companies that you run, if they were correct. But 99% you're wrong. So you have to make a decision that you want to put up the zoning office. I was one of the last ones to decide to do Malampaya because I was scared of the excess capacity in 2000 to 2007. Now I found a financial way out of it by mortgaging my royalties and asking Shell to finance it 0.5%, 1% per annum. We invented the word called back anyway. But you just need to decide. So it's 99, it's 1% science, and 10% how you planning.
In other words, political will. Or
common sense.
In the words of Michael Jordan, just do it. Just do it. 2 minutes. Question from the floor or from Zoom? None from Zoom. Mr. Diaz?
No. I wanted just to say on the side of the environment, that we must also consider that solar panels have a shelf life. One of the things that you would notice globally is those early pioneers where solar panel was not meant to be recyclable have a shelf life, I think, of 30 years, where they need to be disposed of. We are still trying to figure out how to separate the glass from the different components that make the solar panel. So one of the things that has to be thought of is the massive amount of recycling that has to do with solar panels at a certain point. Thank you.
I have a suggestion for you sell it to IKEA, they can make good tables and
Maybe since Mr. Diaz is working with IKEA on his letter of
Mr.
life.
Diaz, people take
IKEA and into furniture.
And luckily Meralco, so they don't sue me. They don't sue me.
Regular speakers, Mr. Diaz, joining us at the time, Tito Mercado and Attorney J. Layo, and to J. for ably moderating discussions. May I now call on Mr. Carlos Cervantes for his closing. Magandang hapon. Thank the speakers of today's GMM, one of whom is my former boss and a close and dear friend since grade school, up to U+ Finals, up to banking, and now in power. Being our corporate secretary and a trusted legal advisor, and of course, yung sa pinaka-pogi namin sa graduate school. Alam mo na dito yung pogi. The way they delivered the message bringing solar rooftop to our homes, you can feel the passion and sincerity. Thank you once again for saying. In my day job as one of the under the group, Power Source Group, has been in the microgrid system. We will soon implement our own rooftop project in the microgrid system this year because, as you know, aside from it being mandatory for the RPS, we all want to see renewable energy in our area. Okay, so when our affiliates and partnership committee was given the chance to host this month's GMM, I did not hesitate to convince the committee to host this affair for the rooftop, solar rooftop to your homes. Okay. I also want to thank the Green Pro and BCBB for working with us and hope to see you soon. Thank you very much and maraming salamat. Lloyd, may now call back Mr. Michael for the awarding tokens and appreciation.
We will be giving appreciation to our speakers that are present at New World. So allow me to read the certificate. The Financial Executives Institute of the Philippines presents the certificate of appreciation to Mr. Todd Delgado in recognition for his generosity and in sharing his valuable time, knowledge, and insights as a guest speaker at the 4th General Membership Meeting of PHINEX with the theme Raise for Rooftop, given the 20th of April at New World Hotel, signed by yours truly. And then for the other certificate of appreciation, may I call Attorney J. Layo to the stage. So we'd like to also give him the certificate of appreciation for attending our general membership meeting and sharing his valuable time. And also, hopefully, Mr. Yes, thank you very much for gracing our event. And we set a certificate of recognition for sharing your knowledge and time with us this afternoon Philippine time. We know that it is still morning, and when we started, it was relatively early morning, and we continue to appreciate it. And we hope to see you in person next time you're back in the country. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you.
So with that, I'd like to formally adjourn this general membership meeting. Take care, everyone, and have a nice afternoon.
Ito na doon.